Hey everybody, what's going on? Welcome back to Two Dizzy Dames. And today we got a pretty cool episode, much like the last episode where we talked about Hocus Pocus 1 and 2, our thoughts. And boy, do we have some thoughts on that one. This episode, we're talking about witches, our favorite witches. So we're going to be discussing. So, all right, let's get into it. I'm so excited to tell you my favorite witches. So we both each, for those of you out there who didn't know, each of us told each other to give each other like our favorite number of 5 favorite witches. So my number 5 was Teen Witch.
Okay.
Teen Witch movie. It was a good classic movie. Not my all-time favorite, but I did like her. I did feel like relatable, like I was saying, like how excuse me, in these M&Ms, how like she just wanted to be popular and really pretty, and and just the snap of a finger, or just like the jewel from her necklace made her everything she wanted to be. I thought it was a really cute movie, and the lady from Poltergeist was in it. I thought that was really neat. But yeah,
I haven't seen that in years. I need to rewatch that.
Good 80s flick, pretty cool. So that's my number 5.
Okay, so my number 5 is Serena from Bewitched.
I remember her. This the cousin or something.
Yes, she's the cousin.
Elizabeth Montgomery, and
yes,
a wig.
She's also played by Elizabeth Montgomery, and she is my favorite because she gets in so much trouble, and I love all her outfits are all so cute, and she's always like popping up just when trouble needs to happen. I personally like her more than I like Samantha, which I know a lot of people are like, Samantha was the best. However, I am a Serena girl all the way.
Also who I liked from that show was Uncle Arthur.
Yes, he was hilarious.
He was so funny. Oh my God. And not many know this, but if you ever watched the 1970s cartoon of Charlotte's Web, he's the rat, the Templeton.
Oh, really?
Yeah. But yeah, very good show. My number 4 is Angela Lansbury.
Okay.
She was a witch in Bedknobs and Broomsticks. Did you ever see that
yep,
movie?
I did.
Also, another childhood favorite of mine. And I thought it was really, really cool. Interesting enough, in that movie too, she wasn't like born into being a witch. She was just learning how to be one in the storyline.
Okay.
That was kind of neat. So I was like, huh. Because normally, like in TV and movies, they're like on Hocus Pocus, 16th birthday, we become a witch. And
we talked about that last time. It's the trope.
But in but in Bedknobs and Broomsticks, it's not like that. She's like, I'm just like trying this new thing out, being a witch. And she's trying to practice spells with those kids. But yeah, I just thought that was, and I love that movie, and that's a very good forgotten favorite. I don't think many people even remember that movie. Very cute Disney movie.
No, I haven't seen that one in years either, so my kids probably would like that one.
Fourth.
My number 4 is Sabrina Spellman, and I know that everybody's like, like their quintessential witch TV show was to watch Sabrina the Teenage Witch. I am considering rewatching the entire series plus the movie first, because they did the movie before they did the TV series.
Yeah, there was a movie.
Yeah. But she was that whole series was a big part of my childhood. So she gets to go in my number 4 spot.
I liked that show. I forgot about that show. Yeah, that was great. Okay. So number 3. My third one is Jillian from Practical Magic. I just liked her. She was so free, such a free spirit, and so like goofy, She was pretty cool. I know she was kind of all over the place, and I liked her.
Well, that was the best part about her character, is that she was like the perfect opposite to the other characters on the movie.
Right? Oh, totally.
Yeah. Okay, my number 3. Oh yeah, go ahead.
Too, no, I'm sorry. I was going to say. Oh shoot! Hold on a second. Okay. Stockard Channing, let's not forget, did an excellent job in that movie as well as the Aunt Franny or Frances or something.
So I was telling you earlier, I don't remember if that was her name or not. I was going to watch the movie. It's on my Halloween watch list. I was telling you earlier that I was talking to my mom while I was doing this list. That's the one she kept mentioning needed to be number 1 on my list. She's not, but that's the one she kept mentioning needed to be number 1 on my list. So my number 3 this was a hard one for me. I love The Wicked Witch. Specifically though, not from The Wizard of Oz. I love the Wicked Witch from Once Upon a Time. And I know some people did not really care much for her story arc or her character, I personally love her. I'm even wearing a shirt I made from the musical episode. It was like way in like the last season.
You're talking about what's her name? The one that played the evil queen, but the
No.
mayor.
No,
The witch.
she was the evil
From
queen.
Once Upon a Time.
Once Upon a Time, Wicked Witch is Zelina, and she is this fiery redhead who constantly is doing a whole bunch of bad things, and I just absolutely love her.
Okay, I don't remember that. Did I? It's been so long since I've seen that the show, right? You're talking about the show?
You have to get all the way to the later seasons. She's not in the first couple of seasons.
Oh, see, I didn't watch later seasons. I think I quit in like season 3 or 4, and I was like, meh.
What? Quitting
know.
in season 6, I can see, because season 7.
Was it 6? No, maybe I did make it. I can't remember. There was a certain point where I got really bored with it. It might have been 4. I'm not sure. I have to go back.
I was obsessed. I've seen the show straight through probably 4 times.
It's a
5
wonderful
times?
show, and I love
It is.
what's his name, Robert Carlyle, that played Rumpelstiltskin.
Yes.
I just loved him in that movie, The Full Monty.
Okay, I
That
did not know
movie-
he was in that movie.
Dude, you didn't know that? All the like strippers? Yeah, it was hilarious. Yeah, he was in The Full Monty.
Well, I
Such
don't
a
know about-
weird movie.
I don't know how I feel about that, but I am a pretty big Once Upon a Time fan. So yeah, so Zelina goes in my number, what were we on, 3? My number 3 spot. Yeah,
Okay.
okay.
So my number 2 is Misty Day. American Horror Story.
Oh, is that from Covens?
Yeah.
Okay. I seen it, but I don't remember it all that much.
She was the one who was in love with Stevie Nicks from Fleetwood Mac.
Mm-hmm.
I liked her. I liked her because she was like this natural witch that lived in the woods in the swamp. And she was like really free spirited and kind of like Jillian from Practical Magic, but she was like just really cool. I did love that that was like one of my favorite seasons of that show, by the way.
It was one of the better seasons. I watched it and I have not seen it more than once, so I don't really recall a whole lot of it. But I did watch it. I watched along when it came out.
Although I find it like really funny and weird, but like mostly funny that like the one witch, every time she like had sex with guys, she like killed the shit out of them. Remember that?
I mean, yeah, but that was
It
not, that's her
so
whole
weird.
that's her
I
whole
was like,
character.
that's a
There's
weird power.
that happens a lot in like
Also
vampire
cool,
shows
I
too.
guess. Yeah, it was really weird. God, that was such a good season. But yeah, that was but yeah, Misty Day, she was still. I didn't know there's so many other good witches in that show, in that season. Like the one that was like the Emma Roberts.
Mhm.
Yeah, Emma Roberts. She was like that one witch where she was like the celebrity. But she was such a bitch. I don't know, which made her character great because she was good
Right.
at playing that, you know. But I really liked Misty Day because I liked how like she was just such a cool witch. I just liked her, man. And every time Lily Rabe was on screen, I loved it every second of it. It was great.
Okay. This is probably one you're not going to know. My number 2 is Diana Bishop. Have you seen A Discovery of Witches?
No, why does it sound familiar?
Well, it
Diana
was
Bishop.
it was everywhere. They were putting up the show everywhere. They were advertising it. It was on Sundance. It's a book series from,
Is the lady from the Birdcage in it?
I don't know. Who's the lady from the Birdcage?
No, the one that played the mom.
I don't
Is
know.
that her?
Yeah.
No.
Okay, so
Okay, so explain. Who's that?
okay. Okay, so it's a book series. And they turned this book series into a TV series that they put, it was, God, how many episodes was it? I don't even remember how many episodes they did. They did 3 seasons.
Okay.
4 seasons. No, 3 seasons. Okay, so they did 3 seasons, and pretty much she is like the witch of be all witches, and she's supposed to bring kind of like a connection between the witches, the vampires, and demons. Can't remember if I don't
okay.
think there's werewolves in there. It's just witches, vampires, and demons. She's supposed to bring them all together because they're all supposed to be together for like the safety of the world or whatever. I don't know, but she is like a kick-ass badass witch, and she goes from
Oh.
like having a knowledge that her family is of witches, but thinking she has absolutely no powers, to then discovering that she only has no powers because her parents bound her so she wouldn't be killed for being a witch because they were killed.
Wow.
And
okay, what is
then
this
she
on?
goes, this is on Sundance. I got Sundance specifically to watch this show. It was so good. I think there might be some on Netflix. I
Huh.
think might be on Stars
kinda
too.
Cool.
Yeah. But yeah, so she goes literally from like, I have no powers. I fell in love with a vampire. Now I have powers, and now I'm gonna kick ass and save the world. In
Okay,
3
so
seasons.
How many seasons? 3
3.
seasons. Okay.
Mhm.
Oh, that's not too bad. Oh, no shit.
Mhm.
Oh, that's cool.
Yep, my
Yeah,
number
I've never
2.
heard that one. Okay. And then, of course, my number 1 is Samantha Stevens
Mhm.
from Bewitched. And I also, like, we had talked about, I love Endora. Amazing.
Mhm.
She's great.
She's
I like
hilarious.
Endora also because, yeah, she was just such a smartass. She was so funny. And it's funny because it's like I always agreed with Endora. Like, why would Samantha, like, oh, Samantha, why don't you just ditch that husband of yours and become a, like, because she wanted to, I didn't want her to like break up from Darren. Actually, Darren was kind of an asshole, but well, the first Darren, the second one wasn't so bad. Dick York was really tough, but Dick Sargent was nicer. But yeah, like I'm sorry, but like being a housewife and having kids, I would have loved to have those powers.
Right?
And I felt like for her to be like, I don't want to. I want to be immortal. Screw that shit. That sucks.
Yeah, I would have been
But-
twitching my nose all over the place. It literally
Because
sucks.
she was such a smartass and she was so funny. And I agreed with her that she why would Samantha want to be immortal? Why would you want to do that? Just use your powers. Use your fucking powers, Samantha.
Right.
Why would you not want to? I'm sorry. I would totally use those. Like, seriously. So yeah. Those are
No,
my
she
5.
was. A lot of people would say that she was a little too hard on Samantha. I think she was just being a good mother. She wanted what was best for her daughter. She didn't want her to be stuck in that mundane, monotonous kind of being submissive to your husband when you were literally a freaking witch.
And I know I didn't bring up The Craft, and I know if people are watching this, they're like, why didn't they talk about The Craft? I did like The Craft. I did love Robin Tunney's character. It was great. And I know Nancy was the big deal. She was the badass witch that everyone was probably like, oh, yeah, I bet one of your favorite witches is going to be Nancy from The Craft. Yeah, she was great. Don't get me wrong. But I don't know. Everybody
Look,
likes her.
16-year-old me, if I would have written this list at 16, I would have had the girls from The Craft and the girls from Charmed on this list. They're not on my list.
Oh, yeah.
So
Right.
yeah, there's a huge difference between watching it as a 16-year-old and as an
Yeah.
adult.
Now,
Which is why my number 1 is Sally Owens, because I relate to her as an adult.
yeah. That's true. I relate more to Samantha Stevens, or I wish, like, she just, what I would give her those powers. My God.
Right.
Pile of laundry sitting on the couch for 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Bye.
I used to pretend that I could do the witch twitch. Like, did you ever try to do it?
Can't do
I
it.
can never get it down.
No, I can't do it. But I can move my ears.
Oh, I can't do that
Which,
either.
by the way, what did you think of the movie? Speaking of ear twitching, with Nicole Kidman.
We don't talk about the movie. It didn't exist. That was a glitch in our timeline.
Right. It was. Didn't exist. Different
Nope.
dimension.
Uh-huh.
Right.
Yep.
Oh,
Because
yeah,
I
fucking-
can't. I watched the first 10 minutes of it and I was like, no.
Mm. Right. There's so many good witch TV shows and movies. Man, when The Craft came out, that was like amazing. That's such a good movie.
Mm.
I loved it.
It was.
really good.
Well, and it's a nice mix too of like, there's always that whole thing that all witches are evil, right? That's what you see with The Craft. Those witches go into darkness, and
Mhm.
some of the witches were trying not to be evil, but Nancy was taking him down a really dark path.
Yeah.
And then you have like the goody type witches who are more like what we see in Practical Magic, where they don't really do anything wrong. Like Jillian's using her
Yeah.
powers of persuasion that she has over these men and stuff.
Right.
That could be an evil, but it's really not. She's not
That's
harming anyone.
harmless. Yeah, it's harmless.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, that wasn't that bad. But yeah, when there's movies like like I had said in the last episode, that mother witch in Hocus Pocus, God, she looked so bad. She looked like a rock star.
Yeah. I would like to see more
Oh,
from her
cool.
story.
I know. Well, you might get to.
Yeah.
Maybe. In part 3.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Yeah. I don't know. There's so many movies, so many TV shows that have the witches in them. it was hard to narrow the list down. Like I said, I mean, if 16-year-old me would have wrote this list way different. 16-year-old me was just getting into Wicca and was like obsessed with witch movies, and I would have been 100% different on this whole paper.
I know we weren't sure about touching on the history, but did you see the drunk history episode of I think it was on witches or something, or it was on why witches were accused? Oh God, what was his name? I didn't really look it up 100%, but who's the guy that got smashed with the slab of stone and his eyeballs popped out of his head?
What?
I can't remember. It was on Drunk History. It was like really funny. Well,
okay.
It wasn't supposed to be funny, but it was a really cool story about this. It was about why women were accused of witchcraft back then in like Salem, Massachusetts and stuff, and like how crazy like the people were, like they were just like accusing everybody left and right of being witches, and it was like a story of like why that was.
The accusations of witchcraft go back well before Salem. They were doing it all over in France and England and all kinds of places. Is pretty much anytime a woman talked out of turn, she was accused of being a witch. Anytime a woman did anything that was predominantly a man's area, she was accused of being a witch.
Giles Corey and the Salem Witch Trials. That's what it's called. Giles Corey. You ever heard of him?
I'm sure I probably have read something somewhere. I've seen every adaptation of The Crucible. Is he in that?
No, he was let me see if I can get a summary. Hold on. What happened? Why was Giles Corey accused of witchcraft? He was accused of witchcraft along with his wife Martha Corey during the Salem witch trials after being arrested. And he refused to enter a plea of guilty, not guilty. Apparently, this guy, they did this thing where like they I can't remember. It was like this crazy story where like I think he was accusing people also, and then later on like people accused him, and they did this form of torture where they like put all this stone on top of him to get him to confess, but he was like, I'm not a witch, but they kept I'm not sure, I think that's how it went. I can't remember, it's been a while since I've seen the episode, and they kept piling stone and rock on top of him, and then killed him because
Right, it's gonna crush him.
Like, popped out of his head or something. But they did a drunk history on it, and it was really funny.
Oh, okay. See, when you said they just smack somebody with stone, I was very confused.
No, not smack them. No, they just piled stone on top of them. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I thought you had said they hit him with a stone. I was like, what? Because I know that they did that. They did the dunking. They did the where they started trying to burn them, but they didn't like fully burn them at the stake to try and get them to talk. Like they did some horrible things to
God,
people.
How awful to be burned like that. Like,
well, with absolutely no proof. They never had any proof that anybody was at all of the trials. If anybody did anything that was medicine related as a female, they were a witch automatically. If you were not a trained doctor or part of the church, you were a witch. If you did anything, right? If you questioned, just questioning the Bible made you a witch.
Reminds me of Monty Python. Remember that scene where they're accusing her of being a witch?
Mm.
And you remember that? She's like, "That's not my nose, it's a false one." And they put a carrot on her. Oh, what did they say? If she weighed as much as a duck? And then she ended up weighing as much as a duck or something. It was so stupid.
Yeah.
And the guy was like, "She turned me into a newt. I got better."
Yeah, it's something that like it's not a satire now, but it was very sad, like a very, very sad time to think that this was going on, because they didn't just do it in Salem or in America in general.
Yeah.
They were doing it all over Europe. It was a way to smash the paganism that was still, kind of in the underbellies as Christianity was getting started.
Oh, wow. That's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
There's so many other, I'm trying to think. I don't know what other TV movie. I'll be honest, I never saw the movie Witches of Eastwick.
You know what? I haven't either. But it's funny
because I feel so bad now.
No, I saw the entire TV series, The Witches of East End, but I never seen the Witches of Eastwick, which was not that great. And they didn't even make my list either. But yeah, I've never seen it either. Or the new one that just came out that's based on the 1990, I think it's 1990s, The Witches. It's just called The Witches.
Oh, okay. Those are a bunch of old ugly witches, but it's based on the story. Yes, I do remember about he's a little boy that turns into a mouse, because they all meet at the hotel
Hmm.
and they're for the conference, and then they turn the children into mice and they eat them or something, or I can't remember, something like that. It was Angelica Houston was in
Right.
the original. She did a wonderful job. Gosh, she's a good actress. And then
Anne
what is her
Hathaway
name?
replaced her in the new
Yeah,
one.
she replaced her. Yeah,
Yeah.
which I didn't see the new one. I should watch it.
No, I vaguely remember watching the original as a child, which probably was not something I should have done as a child, because it's a terrifying looking movie.
It is.
But I haven't seen the new one yet. But I don't recall most, like, as you're talking about it, I kind of like, wait, did I see that? I think I might have seen that.
It was
I
pretty
don't recall
crazy.
it though on my
The
own.
makeup, how they made them look in the original was so
Mhm.
gross. Man,
Yeah, there's a
makeup
lot
was
of
pretty
like
good.
there's a lot of witch movies out there, and a lot of them tend to go toward the negative a lot more than the positive, kind of like peace,
Well, did you
love,
know?
witch.
Who was the woman that played the Wicked Witch in the Wizard of Oz?
I do
Margaret
not know
Hamilton.
who she is.
I think it's Margaret Hamilton. Hold on, give me 2 seconds.
I am terrible with remembering actors' names. I just remember
Is
the
it?
roles.
I think I'm right. Yeah, I was right. It's Margaret Hamilton. Okay,
Okay.
so Margaret Hamilton played the Wicked Witch in the Wizard of Oz, and I remember she was on. I think she was on Mr. Rogers. Mr.
Okay.
Rogers brought her on his show to show children that she's not scary, and she's just an actress like everybody else. And she was actually like, she's like, see, I'm just a character I played.
That's funny that they had to do
It was
that.
really cute. It was cute that he did that, and I was like, "Oh, that's really neat." I think I don't know. I think it was Mr. Rogers. It might have been Sesame Street. It was one of the others, something like that. But I thought it was really cute.
Yeah, there have been
That
so
was
many
amazing.
adaptations of the Wicked Witch, like in movies
Mhm.
and
I had the book Wicked. I didn't read it. I gave it to my cousin, and I heard the musical was really good. And the music sounds amazing because I do have a Broadway channel of
Mhm.
theater on my Pandora, and it'll play the music from Wicked. And I've never seen the show, but the music is great.
the show is fantastic. I saw it in
You did
LA.
see it?
Hmm.
Oh, you're so lucky.
Yeah, it was good. It was really good.
It sounds like it's really good.
Yeah, I mean, there's been so many adaptations of her character that she's just developed. That's why I love the adaptation from Once Upon a Time, because they like really develop her story. And I know that's not her
Right.
actual legit story, because none of the stories in that show were Disney's original or whoever's original.
Yeah.
Which Wizard of Oz was not Disney. It must be owned. Yeah, I think they acquired it.
I
I think
know.
that's why they have the right to do it.
Right.
But
Yeah.
yeah, so they kind of changed. But I like what they did to her story for the most part. Some of it was a little off.
Yeah, I don't
But
know. I wish
all
I
of
could
it.
see it. I just remember seeing Wizard of Oz when I was a kid and seeing Miss Gulch, and I was like, God, what an awful woman. How
Yeah.
dare she take away her dog? Who the hell does this lady think she is? And then she ended up being the Wicked Witch anyway, and I was like, okay,
Yeah.
that makes sense. She's an ass. She's a bitch. But
Yeah.
Oh man.
I don't know. Anybody who's ever had a neighbor with a yapping dog, I can maybe understand. And I'm a dog person. So
Little ankle biters. Yeah, but you don't
Yeah.
have ankle biters.
no, but I mean if a neighbor had him.
No.
But yeah, I don't know. I think we could probably do like a breakdown of every single which TV show, which movie, and like there's so many. There's so many that were good. There were so many. We should do
I
our
know.
worst, because I have a list of worst
Do our
witch movies.
worst.
Ones that I just will never watch again because I was offended. There's one I saw in the
really?
movie theater. Yeah, I saw one in the movie theater. The Wicker Man. Did you remember when the Wicker Man came
Oh,
out?
I saw that. That movie. Is that the one with Nicolas Cage?
Yes, I
And he
was
had the
openly
bees?
offended in that movie by what they
Ugh.
did with the witches in that movie.
Yeah, I don't
And
like that either.
like at the time when that came out, I was a very young Wiccan. I am not a Wiccan anymore, but I was one then, and I was just like, I was vocal in the movie theater of my disdain for that movie.
I just don't like Nicolas Cage. I
Well,
said it.
okay.
I don't like Nicolas Cage. I don't know. You know what? I don't know. There's just something about him that just, I don't know, man. I
I
don't
mean,
know.
you have your rights to not like him.
My husband doesn't get it because he loves him so much, and I'm just like, ugh,
No. Well, I did not like that movie.
I don't like it either.
No.
There's only
Uh,
like 2 movies I liked that Nicolas Cage did, but that one was not one of them.
I forgot he was even in it because that's how much I hated the whole storyline of that movie.
Yeah, it was just, it was awful. Okay.
So that's going to do it for our 5 TV movies and witches. Thank you so much for joining us tonight, and we will see you next week with another new video. Bye.
Bye, guys.